All right. So, hi, you made it. Okay, there we go. That's working. Okie dokie. Whew. I don't know about you guys, but I'm already sweating from not getting the music to work properly sometimes. Good morning. So, thank you all again for tuning in. I just want to make sure the volume is also okay with the music. I don't want it to overpower aces. I think I got it. Woohoo. Okay. Oh, so today's class is our movement and mobility class. Of course, I'm going to start the music shortly. It's going to be a little bit of a different practice where we will take principles of our traditional yoga and integrate them into movement that we will, that we can really access or utilize throughout the day. Here, I'm just going to hide video. All right, cool. Now, that being said, if at any point you need to kind of tap out or there's not going to be a lot of jumping today, it's mostly flexion extension of our joints because we often are like neglecting just the joint awareness, and joints are supported by muscles and all the tendons and ligaments that go through it. So we're focusing on the major joints of the body. Um, let's get to it. Okay. So come on up to standing. Shake out your stiffness in the body, whatever that looks like for you. So it's just really good to get the blood moving first. And if you want to just kind of roll out the arms, roll out the shoulders, I'm going to unfortunately, I have to have this phone in my hand when I am doing the music class. So let's just do a few little shoulder circles. Okay. Is it working? Yeah, I think it is. If you missed the class last week, I actually did 20 minutes of the class with the music coming into my ear and jumping up and down and doing all this fun stuff. It was hilarious and really fun to watch me do that because there was actually no music coming through. Okay. Okay. So now bring your feet to about hip width distance apart or your natural stance. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see this. We're going to first move into the flexion of our shoulders, which is really important here to just find our range of motion. Try to keep your arms straight. Activate all the muscles in your arms, palms facing each other. Inhale to bring your arms all the way up towards the ceiling. Try to bring them as far back as you can. Feel that flexion in the shoulder joint. Just pause here. Now, stay strong through the core of your body. Narrow in through the waistline as you feel the navel pull in through the belly. Okay, so as we're pulling back here, imagine you have a block between your hands. Squeeze that imaginary block. Breathe into the length of your spine. Good, and then take the arms forward. Good, and then also bring them right back behind you. So come right back. So now we're taking this into the fullest flexion and extension in our range of motion. So again, feel that connection here. Imagine that you're trying to squeeze a block between the palms of your hands. Open the chest, shoulder blades wrap around the spine. A little bit of a bend in the elbows. Good, now inhale, come up. We're gonna do this nice and slow, maybe a count of 5. Just take your time. You can see that my knees are also slightly bent here. This is my more of like an active stance. Bring the arms slightly behind the ears. Yeah, this is when we tend to stand for a long period of time. We actually lock our knees out or we fall into joints. This is what we would call release valves of the body. So release valves are known as energy releases. Good, and then slowly 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 to bring the arms all the way back. Good. So feel that connection again. Feel that integration of the triceps, the shoulders, how they need to really, really pull back and activate to keep the arms supported. And when we move with this type of awareness, we get stronger in our bodies, right? We get to feel, that's the inner awareness that I'm trying to create physically. Good. Now inhale, bring the arms back up. We're just going to do this one more rotation. Holding that imaginary block. Little softness in the elbows. I'm double jointed, so when I straighten out the elbows, there's a major release valve there. I won't show you guys because it's too early in the morning to gross you all out, but maybe in person one day. Good. Keep pulling the ribs in if they're starting to flare open. Good. Okay, now this time we're going to take the arms forward, reach forward. Reach all the way back, a little softness in the elbows as you pull. Now interlace your fingers, take a big breath in, open your chest, exhale, fold over your legs. Have a nice bend in the knees so that you can rest your belly and ribs on your thighs. Head is heavy, neck is at ease. So while we're here, let's just play with that sensation of flexion and bending in the elbow. So take a breath in. Exhale, bend the elbows, try to tap the knuckles down towards your sacrum, and then come back up. Good. So do this a few times, nice and slow, and observe how this feels into your chest. Where do you get the best stretch? When the elbows are bent, when they're straightened? See how the joints are all connected. See how the body is all connected in this movement. Good. All right, now release your hands. Bring them onto your shins. Inhale, halfway lift, stretch your chest forward. Fold, exhale. Again, inhale, halfway lift. Fold, exhale. Now inhale, reach all the way up, rise up to the top. Exhale, hands in front of your chest. Shake out your arms and just let this kind of move, wiggle around. Now let's come right down into tabletop position here. So hands and knees. Now the next vignette of movement is it's plank, basically plank to down dog. So we're still kind of warming up our body. Curl your toes under, lift your hips into downward dog, and just take a few pedals here. Notice how that feels in the back of your legs. Now, oftentimes when the calves are tight, we compensate in the body. Then just press it out. We're going to be doing a lot of flexion and extension through the ankles as well today. All right, so take a big breath in. Exhale, pull belly to spine. Now roll your spine forward. Come into a plank position. Pause. And you're more than welcome to bring the knees down if you'd like this morning. But we're going to be going from down dog to plank about 5 to 8 times. Good. Now lift the hips back up, downward dog. Okay. Roll the hips forward. Roll your spine forward. Feel a nice cat stretch in the upper back. As you bring the shoulders right over the wrists, look to the top of your space. Pull belly to spine. Take an inhale. Exhale, lift your hips, downward dog. Do about 5 more of these at your own pace. You could take it slow so that you build awareness of where your spine is starting to articulate. Good. And just really rolling through. Hands are pressing down and forward, stretching through the upper back like the best cat stretch you're going to get this morning. Good. Roll. Uncoil your neck as you look forward. Let's just do 2 more of these. Feel this here. Now, if you're starting to get saggy in the shoulders, bring the knees down. You can also do this from child's pose into a table position. Good, last one. And then pause here, hold, keep pressing the floor away, breathe deep. Good. All right, bring your knees down and stretch back. All right, come into your tabletop position. So this one is going to feel a little funky. Roll out the wrist first. We're going to turn. You have to bring a lot of awareness into your wrist. So this is a wrist flexion, and we're going to be moving between flexion, like this, to this to this. All right. So let's come back into our plank pose. Come onto the backs of your hands. All right, take a big inhale. Exhale to lift into your plank position. Good. Now as we press back, bring the knees down, child's pose, curl the fingers in. Now come back up, fingers pointing in, take a breath in. Exhale, lift the knees. Come onto the wrists. Good. Curl the fingers in. Child's pose, roll it out, unravel the hands. We're only going to do about 2 more of these. Hands come down, fingers in, lifting up. You could even just stay on the knees too, and just getting that nice stretch. Good, come down, curl the hands. 1 more. Come back up, fingers point in. Good. Curl the fingers in, child's pose. Stretch it out, get long, roll out the wrists. That one is probably very different feeling, especially if you're not used to being on the back of your hands. Okay, take a breath in. Exhale to lift the hips. Come into your down dog again. Pedal it out. And we'll be moving into a plank position one more time here. So plank position, turn the fingers in towards the toes. So just take this slowly here. We'll take all 10 fingers to point towards your feet. Press the floor away. Again, just feeling that through the wrists, option to come down onto the knees as always. Keep really pressing through the heels, belly knits in. And just observe, like, where are your thoughts going right now? What kind of negative talk are we telling ourselves? Choose to rewire your brain and just move that energy away. Good. Knees down, stretch back, child's pose. And as challenging as it may be, it's really easy to create a discussion with negative talk towards yourself than it is to refer to the positive. So we always have to look for that positivity. All right, let's do that one more time. You're like, not again. No, let's do it. Okay, so turn the fingers in. We're going to start from a different start position. Take a breath in. Exhale to lift the knees, plank pose. Contain the ribs. Fire up the legs. Build strength in the upper back as you slightly round. Gazes forward. Once you feel or hear that thought, just change that thought pattern. Good. Knees down. Let's go back into child's pose. Stretch out the wrists. Roll it out. Breathe deep. Downward dog into a lunge. So we'll take the right heel up. Take a big inhale. Exhale to step your foot beside your right baby finger. Now, if you need a block, you can use it. It's a block-free day. If you usually have a block, then it might be nice to keep it there. All right. So drop the back knee down to the mat. Take an inhale, open your chest, upward dog. In the lunge position. So keep pulling the chest forward. Now we're moving more into spine flexion. So take a breath in. Exhale, pull the hips back, round into a cat stretch, still in that lunge position. You can always bring that back knee forward. so that you're in more like a more narrow lunge. Now inhale, open the chest, upward dog sensation. You can lean into it as well, straightening out the left hip. Good. Now exhale, pull the hip back, hip over knee, cat stretch through the spine. Good. Breathe in, open the chest, drop your hips. Exhale, pull back, cat stretch. So aim for about 5 more of these. Pull the heart through. Exhale, round through. Nice stretch through the upper back. Good. Keep breathing as you move. Feeling this flexion through the hips, through the spine. So we're kind of going back and forth between the two. Now make this the last one. So come into that low energy with the upward dog in the hips. Then as we exhale, round through, cat stretch. Press your palms into the mat. Curl your left toes under. Take your right leg up, back, 3-legged down dog. Yeah. All right, other side. So left leg up. Big inhale. Exhale. Step your foot to the outside of your left hand. Set your back knee onto the mat. So we're taking a low lunge. Take a breath in. Exhale, drop the hips down. Now inhale, lift your chest. Very similar to up dog. If you can feel for pulling your chest forward, go for it. Good. Keep breathing into that. Notice how this feels from side to side. Yeah, take a breath in. Now exhale, pull the hips back, stacking right hip over the right knee. You might even need to walk that knee in. Cat stretch your spine. Good. Feel the press or the lift of the belly into the low back. Inhale, come forward, upward facing dog in this lunge. And then exhale, round through. Good. Good. Inhale, open the chest, broaden across the collarbones. Feel your shoulder blades hug your spine. Exhale, round through. All right, take about 5 more at your own pace. Notice how this feels as you're rotating from flexion to extension. What's interesting is we're actually doing flexion and extension of both. We're doing flexion in the spine and extension in the spine, and also in your hip joints too. Good. All right, just do one more here. One more, finishing it off. So cat stretch, curl your right toes under, lift back, downward dog. If you want to take the left leg up high and back, go for it. Bring your knees down. Sweep your legs out in front of you. So this, just having the legs straight out can be quite challenging. Now, if you feel like you need to bend the knees, or when you come forward you have to round, it's better to keep the knees bent in any sort of extension or lengthening of the spine. All right, so take an inhale, reach, get tall in your body, get nice and long. And as you exhale, come forward, try to keep your low back as straight as possible. Now, if you tend to kind of round, this is probably the point where you'll feel the low back collapse. So I want you to really lengthen, reach. Option is to interlace your fingers and keep feeling that lengthening of your low back as you come forward. Now, at the same time, your heels, they're pressing towards the front of your space, so the flexion is really happening at the ankles as well. So narrow in through the side body, get long, take an inhale, and we're going to do little pulses here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, let the hands come down. Hands are right beside your hips, fingertips pointing towards the front of the space. Sit up tall. This is called a four-limb stick pose. Take a breath in. Exhale, tuck your chin into your chest. Sit up as tall as you can. Tall, tall, tall. Press the heels of your hands into the floor. Reach through your heels. The entire posterior chain of your body is lengthening right now. Good. Inhale, reach your arms up. Interlace your fingers, lean forward. Find that pelvic tilt as if you're trying to stick your butt out behind you. Good. So reach, reach, reach. And then we pulse. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, let the heels of your hands land beside your hips. Tuck the chin into chest. Take a big breath and sit up tall. Reach, reach, reach through your heels. Exhale, chin pulls in. Keep lifting through the back of your head. Good. Last 3, 2, and 1. Whew. So for the most part, it feels like we're just sitting, but wow, there's a lot of activity that happens here. From here, lean back onto your hands, bend your knees, place your feet on the mat. Lift your hips up, reverse your table position. Keep breathing, stretching in the chest. Here's where we can really feel the benefits of those shoulder flexion and extensions that we did at the beginning of class, yeah? So really press the hips, engage your glutes. Yeah, lower the hips back down. Take a breath in. Exhale, lift up. Keep pressing your hips up to the sky. Yeah, lots of activity here in the legs. Imagine you're hugging a block between the thighs. Turn on your inner thigh muscles. Good. Now lower the hips back down. One more time. Take a breath in. Exhale, lift up. Lift, lift. Keep breathing. Good. All right, come on down. Cross the feet. Come forward. Downward dog. Get the hands active. Keep pressing your hands down and forward. Right, take your right leg up nice and high. Breathe, bend the knee, open your hip. Just get back into the down dog again. One more time here. Good, now as we straighten out the leg, square your hip off, turn your inner right thigh to the ceiling. Point your toes, really point through the right toes. Tap the toe down towards or onto your yoga mat. Now flex the toes, flex the toes. Exhale, lift the heel back up to that start position. Try your best not to let the hips spill open. Point the toes, tap down. Curl the toes, exhale back up. Good, do 3 more of those. So we're gonna point the toes as we lower. Flex as we lift. Good, 2 more here. Nice controlled movement through the hip. Flex the foot, ankles as well. Good, last one. Flex the foot and lift. Good. Set the foot down, other side. Keep pressing the hands down and forward. Come onto your toenails. Look at it. I can't wait for them spas to open up to paint my toes here. Okay, take a breath in. Lift up. That was a negative talk to myself. Good. Okay, now inhale, lengthen. Tap down. Flex the foot. Exhale up. Point the foot. Tap down. Exhale up. Good. 3 more like that. Feel how we're starting to warm up through the ankles. Good. I believe one more. And if we just did an extra, that's just the bonus there. That's the bonus round. Good. All right, so come on down, drop to the knees. And let's keep the shoelaces on your mat. Knees will stay bent. Lean back onto your hands and lift your knees. Stretch through the ankles. Breathe deep. Yeah, nice full breaths here. All right. Full inhale. Exhale, knees down. Come forward into your tabletop position. Curl the toes under, and we'll take a slow lower to the tummy. Here we go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Uncurl your toes. A little oscillating cobra here. So bring the hands forward, maybe to the top of your space, and just lift up. Good. Take an inhale here. Exhale, feel a little bit more of a lift. Inhale, lower your heart. Exhale, lift. Now, we generally tend to move on the exhale, but if you find that inhaling when you rise is better, go for it. So let's just do this a few times. Now, you'll find that every movement class, this evolved movement practice, is going to be different every week. So I know some of you have been to every single one, and you can attest to this, that every class is different. And it depends if I have eaten a pot roast the night before. No, just kidding. It actually just depends on, the vibe, the energy of your body, of course. All right, hands under your shoulders, push back, take child's pose. Okay, come on up to seated. Now you can either take a shavasana, or if you want to come into a seated meditation, this is a really good space to do that. I'm slowing everything down here. Take the shoulders up to the ears. And exhale to pull them back and down. The shoulders rise up. And exhale back and down. And let your hands rest in your lap. If you're in Shavasana, you could place your hands anywhere on your body. Just giving yourself a moment to take pause and acknowledge all the work that you've put in for yourself today. Notice how we can choose the thoughts that arise. And the simplicity of our practice changes just where awareness wants to go. So you can always, work your mind in a different way. So that's like the flexion and extension of your brain. Yeah, thank you all for your energy this morning and for showing up. Show up for yourself every day. And from my heart to yours, namaste. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, everyone. Thank you.